we ain't got no job. We in school. He said, if you don't marry, I'm gonna go back to my old boyfriend. I said, you need to get going. I said, because I thought to myself, 50 years ago, boy, you got proposed to. 50 years ago. Hey, that's what you said to me. So glad I don't drink that cream no more. That was a pretty good basketball game with the Cookman girls last night. They beat Iona. That was a heck of a game. No. The Cookman girls playing, boy. Alabama went in 21, Mississippi Valley 7 in the second quarter. Dana better win this game. Amen.
Broadcasting live from the Joy 106.3 FM studios, it's the Hail Wildcats Gridiron Show with the Gridiron Gang. Fellas, let's flip the switch and do this. Very pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Hail Wildcats X's and O's show, better known as the Gridiron Show. Guys, how is it going? It's Florida Classic Week. Hopefully all our fans are doing well, staying dry. It looks like all over the state of Florida, it's just bad.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, definitely, Larry. Good luck with that. Does not look good out there, but we're here. And, of course, we're in the studio with the man, Mr. Ralph Smith. Ralph, how's your week going, sir?
Well, finally I came down from Saturday. I was excited. I thought we finally had a complete ball game. I wasn't expecting it, but it occurred anyway, and I was just totally happy about that. And now the big game is coming up. I'm excited about that game as well.
CC.
Can't help but be excited. On my way in the morning, so looking for a good game.
Are you excited, CC?
I am very, very much excited.
You sure about that?
I am 100% excited.
You wouldn't be telling us a story, would you?
Well, to you, yeah, but no one else.
Because that's not what I heard earlier tonight. All I heard is wine. And it wasn't about Diesel
Larry?
tonight.
Why, Larry?
Yeah.
Why, Larry?
Yeah, it wasn't about Diesel tonight, sir. Larry, how's it going, sir?
Not bad. I'm blessed, highly favored. 50 years ago tomorrow, baby. 50 years ago tomorrow at Bragg Memorial Stadium. I'm at the wrong stadium. Bragg Memorial
You can come on over there.
You're
You
right.
can come to Dope, man.
That was a couple of years later, but 50 years ago tomorrow. What a spectacular event. The Florida A&M Rattlers and the Wildcats got together at Bragg Stadium, and history was made, 21-13. So it's a 50-year reunion, and I sure hope lightning strikes in a bottle, because I would love to see the Wildcats pull it out again this year.
Definitely. We're hoping that lightning strikes in a bottle, and our Wildcats can definitely pull it off. Guys, that'll take us right into our SWAC week recap. Grambling goes to Arkansas Pine Bluff. Final score of that game, Grambling 43, Arkansas Pine Bluff 14. I don't think any surprises there.
No.
Yeah. Then we have, of course, Alabama A&M comes here to Daytona. Final score of that game, 31-14. And we'll get back to that later, because I don't think there were surprises there either.
Nope.
There were some surprises, but
It was how we were surprised.
yeah, definitely, Ralph, definitely. So, then Alabama State at Mississippi Valley State. Alabama State 20, Mississippi Valley State 3. None there either, right?
No, that's chalk.
He said it was chalk.
Then we have Prairie View A&M goes to Southern. Prairie View 27, Southern 21.
I think that was an upset.
Well, that was the final straw for Eric Dooley, the coach at Southern. They've been expecting a much better performance for the year, and they went 5-5. So they didn't wait till the end of the season. They pulled the trigger on a coaching change before they even got to the Bayou Classic.
Do you? I hate to ask, Larry. Do you agree with that?
Well, that's becoming a norm right now. You know, it really is. How many coaches have we seen fired at both FBS, FCS, who don't even make a full 2 football seasons?
Right.
So that's becoming more of a trend today. And Southern is one of those elite schools. You know, it's one of the blue bloods of HBCU sports, and they want to get back on parallel. When they see Florida A&M having the success that they're having, they're saying to themselves, that should be us.
Right.
Because they are the largest HBCU as far as enrollment is concerned.
Right, definitely. So, what happened there, Ralph? I'm sorry. What happened there, Larry? What,
Well, you know,
for fans who don't know.
Those of us who saw Bethune Cookman play Southern in Jacksonville, the game was a microcosm of what has happened to those 2 teams all year long. When you're sitting in the stands and fans on both teams are saying they could call the plays before the plays were even being run.
Yep.
And Eric Dooley's background was he's supposed to be an offensive guru and a quarterback whisperer. So when you're not making any progress offensively, which is on your side of the football, you people become very frustrated with that. And I just saw Southern, there was some rumblings early this year about a coaching change.
Yep.
I first heard it from Jay Walker, and he was talking about it and was very, very, clear about who the number 1 candidate would be without coming out and saying it. Those of us who knew the history with Southern. So it doesn't surprise me because he had 2 good years. And what are we hearing today, folks? Guys, what do we hear with the biggest firing of the year so far with Jimbo Fisher at Texas A&M with $76 million buyout? You're hearing things like the regression in the program, stuck in neutral, not making progress.
Can't do it.
It's the same thing we're kind of hearing over in Gainesville, with the University of Florida.
Right.
And so you really wonder, is Billy Napier safe? I think it comes down to these last 2 games
It
for the
truly
University
does.
of Florida. Saturday against Missouri, and the rivalry game is Florida State, Thanksgiving Saturday night.
Yeah.
But that seems to be a trend in college football because the coach at Morehouse was released here a week or so ago, and he was really in the same situation as Woody. He came in late, didn't get a chance to recruit, and they didn't even let him finish his first season. So people are getting impatient about winning.
Everybody wants to
losing.
win.
Yep.
Well, let's face it, guys. We're living in a time when everybody's in their feelings, okay?
Yeah, pretty much.
And patience is a lost art.
And you got to win right now.
You got to
what
win.
everybody.
Yeah. And then the quick argument is the argument that a lot of people have been using, even the big schools,
Right.
they've been saying, Deion did it. Deion flipped the roster. He's been winning. Why can't we have some success like that? So you see some of that. Deion tailed off a little bit. But when people see that and they see those kind of successes, they want the same thing.
Right. And then, in the age of what we always talk about, NIL, we're putting the resources there, so why not?
And if you're
and he was at Texas A&M. I mean, the recruiting class was,
It was number 1.
And if you're hiring a coach right now, whoever he is,
right,
he had better know how to use the portal.
Yes.
Because they're not going to give you those
That's right.
2 or 3 years.
Right.
You got to go And to Mike Norvell's credit at Florida State,
Produced
he has made a living out of the portal. He has not missed.
And it's paying off.
And it's paid off him handsomely. So now everybody's looking at that, as the new way to turn a program around.
Then Lincoln, California, those guys have been traveling the country. You said, I think we talked about, they haven't had a home game this year?
Nope.
Well, the people are now writing articles and asking other HBCUs not to schedule them because their administration really isn't committed to athletics. This is all about, these are the people in
Just
California.
go play
Just go
and
play
send it back.
Send the money back. That's all it is.
Wow.
So the word is out right now, and they're appealing to all HBCUs not to play them, next year, because if you look, they popped up on everybody's schedule.
They did.
Yeah.
They did.
You're right.
I think Southern played them.
FAMU played them.
FAMU,
Southern played
and then
them.
I think it's
Texas Southern played them.
Sure
for
did.
homecoming.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. And then this past Sunday, final score of that game, FAMU 28, Lincoln 0. Then this past Sunday, Alcorn State goes to Texas Southern. Texas Southern dismisses them 44-10.
With a chance on Alcorn's part to lock up the
West.
Western Conference Championship, and they didn't even show up. And it tells you a little bit about Texas Southern, the kind of ball club we saw them, and we know how good of a team they looked like they had. And,
Right.
And after they beat us, they had FAMU down. Probably should have won that game. So Alcorn had everything in front of them. They controlled their own destiny, and just could not get it done. And now,
Has that been confirmed?
that about
McKinney.
no, it's still
It's
Yeah,
still up
because
in the
they
air.
came out and said that the president said we haven't decided on it.
Yeah, it's still up in the air. That just shows you how quick things get put out. Daryl, you were sitting there, and 13 minutes after it came out, they rescinded it.
Right.
While we were sitting in the box.
Right. There's a lot of stuff behind the scenes with all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That discussion you and I had
Yes,
in the elevator. So,
Man, this is a tough job.
It
Coaching,
is.
boy, you got to really, call on Jesus and listen to the angels sing. With that kind of job, because nothing is sacred.
No, not at all. Not at all. That'll take us right into our Pro First Sports Management SWAC week schedule and rankings. Tonight, Mississippi Valley State is playing Alabama A&M. That game kicked off at 7 p.m.
21-7 right now in the second quarter. A&M over Valley.
Gotcha.
Minute to go in the second
That
quarter.
game's in Huntsville. So. This Saturday, Alabama State goes to Prairie View A&M. That kickoff is at 3 p.m. there in Prairie View.
If Prairie View wins, they are the representative West champion, going to play Florida A&M the following week
In Tallahassee.
In Tallahassee for the SWAC championship. If they lose, boy, we got total chaos. So
There is a
3 times.
chance for Grambling to
Absolutely.
sneak in there.
There's
Yeah.
about 4 possibilities of teams that could actually backdoor
That's
themselves
crazy,
into
man.
it.
That's crazy. Alcorn State goes to Jackson State. That's a 2 p.m. kickoff there in Jackson. Then Arkansas Pine Bluff goes to Texas Southern. That's another 2 p.m. kickoff there in Houston. And then, not to steal anyone's moniker, but the big family of them all, our Wildcats versus the FAMU Rattlers this Saturday, 3:30 p.m., Camping World Stadium. We'd like to see everyone there. Listen, I'm not a meteorologist, but there's someone in the studio who is supposed to be a meteorologist.
Got a
right?
master's,
Really?
according to him.
Oh, according to him.
According to him.
He got. I know what he got a master's in now.
Yeah, but we can't say that.
I mean, mix this and mix this. It'll give you a good shine.
Did that guy leave?
Guys,
He never showed up.
I got to tell this quick story. My senior year at Bethune Cookman, I was in my last semester at college, and I had been working in public relations for 4 years. And a friend of the family called my mom and dad to inquire if I would be interested in doing the midday weather for WESH Channel 2 News. So when I got home, my mom and dad told me about it, and I looked at them. I said, "What?" And they said, "Yeah." They said, "This particular person recommended you." I said, "I don't know anything about the weather." And my mother said, "Well, that's true. I guess they can teach you whatever." I said, "Mom, let me just say this. A black weatherman, that is not a good thing." That is not a good thing. You know, so thank God I did not even look into that at all.
A black weatherman.
Boy, look here.
So that'll take us right into our FCS computer rankings for the SWAC. At number 18, coming in at number 18, they were previously 16. And then after Saturday, they could be lower than that, are the FAMU Rattlers, coming in at 18. At 57, it's Jackson State. They were previously 47. Alabama State comes in at 61. They were previously 58. Alcorn State comes in at 68. They were previously 73. Grambling comes in at 87. They were previously 88. Southern comes in at 90. They were previously 78. Prairie View comes in at 91. They were previously 99. Texas Southern comes in at 94. They were previously 95. Alabama A&M comes in at 108. They were previously 92. Our Wildcats come in at 110. They were previously 115. Mississippi Valley State comes in at 125. They were previously 125. And Arkansas Pine Bluff comes in at 127. They were previously 124. So there you have it for the power rankings, or computer rankings, rather. In the East.
Daryl.
Yes, sir.
Those power rankings, I know they're calculated. But I'm going to tell you real quickly. Bethune-Cookman's record is what it is. But anybody who's watched us play and knows the games that we were in and should have won easily, that's a skewed ranking for us as far as I'm concerned. Because that's not a ball club you want to see.
No, not by a long shot. Not by a long shot.
Especially having won 2 games and having been in the games that we were in. Because, I mean, I went back this week, and I still could not believe it. I looked at the Alabama State game. There's no way Jackson State nor Bama State should have beat us. No way. No way.
Mm-mm. Wow. As far as the SWAC rankings, Florida A&M comes in at number 1 in the East. They're 7-0. Overall, they're 9-1. Jackson State in conference play comes in at 5-2. Overall, 7-3. Alabama State comes in at 5-2. Overall, they're 6-3. Alabama A&M comes in at 2-5. Overall, they're 4-6. Our Wildcats come in at 2-5 in the conference, 3-7 overall. And rounding out the East, Mississippi Valley State comes in at 1-6. They're 1-9 overall. On the West side, the very important West side, Alcorn State comes in at 5-2. Overall, they're 6-4. Prairie View A&M comes in at 5-2. Overall, they're 5-5. Southern comes in at 4-3. Overall, they're 5-5. Grambling State comes in at 4-3. Overall, 5-5. Texas Southern comes in at 2-5. Overall, 3-7. Arkansas Pine Bluff comes in at 0-7. Overall, they are 1-9.
Boy, that West, that looks awfully weak over there. Looking at those scales.
Yeah, but if you hear the pundits for the SWAC, they say, well, they're not weak. It's just they got the toughest teams.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
that's their story.
you remember that SWAC
If
talk?
that's their story. They can stick with it. Okay.
Yeah, that's the SWAC story.
I'm just telling you right now. When you look at it right now, after this weekend, if both Alcorn and Prairie View loses, it's a log jam of teams with the same record all the way
Mm-hmm.
from 1 through 5.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There you have it. All right, guys, it's that time. Our Wildcats invite the Alabama A&M Bulldogs to. I'm sorry. I know Ralph was ready to get to it, man. I had to keep him here, and I had to make sure CC wouldn't go home, so I got to move forward with the show. So, Larry, let's talk about 50 years ago. I know you alluded to it at the beginning of the show, and we'll get to Florida Classic, but here's the moment where we cover on-campus news.
Yeah, 50 years ago, a surreal moment. Got to realize most of the people who were attending Bethune-Cookman at that time were not even born the last time Bethune-Cookman beat Florida A&M, which was in
What you talking about, Willis?
1952. And so in 73, we had a magical football season. We had a coaching change, much like we had this year at Bethune-Cookman. And Charles Wesley Moore becomes the head football coach at Bethune-Cookman, taking over for Jack Cy McLaren, who devoted his time as athletic director, football coach, and basketball coach up until 73 when he became solely the basketball coach. What must be known about this particular season is that from 1969 forward, Wesley Moore had done all the recruiting for the football team. So he had recruited all those players. And so 73 rolls in, we get a new coach, a new offense, a wishbone offense. We put a new defense in, new coaching staff, and we start off the season 4-0 and headed to homecoming. And our first loss that year was against a team from Alabama, Tuskegee, who ran the wishbone as well. And they beat us for homecoming 21-13. The following week, we lost to Jackson State and Walter Payton 42-32 in a classic game out in Jackson, Mississippi. But from that moment on, after those two hiccups, Bethune-Cookman ran the table. And
as they say in NASCAR, boogity boogity.
Right, it set the stage for November 17th, 1973. And I can tell you, boy, all roads throughout Florida
leading to Tallahassee.
Led to Tallahassee. And when I say an overflow crowd of 12,000 in Old Bragg Stadium, that's exactly what it was. People were all over on the track everywhere for that football game. And it did not disappoint. It was a remarkable experience. Ralph, I asked some people this week. One of them was at the tailgate with us, Linwood Carter. I said, a lot of people don't know that Bethune-Cookman had a fight song before Wildcats Let's Go. And you would have to have been at Bethune-Cookman and in the marching men of Bethune-Cookman band at that time to know that the fight song was Hey, Let's Go. And most people from that era remember that. What I remember about the game, Ralph and Darold, was the fact that with about 6 minutes and 2 seconds to go in the fourth quarter, President Richard Vernomore got up out of his seat and walked over to the band and told Samuel Carmichael Berry, Mr. Berry, we need to play some music to get the boys inspired. Mm-hmm. Fam, you punted the football to us. We got it with about 5:59 to go in the game, and we kept that football until 2 minutes and 2 seconds, drove it down to the FAMU 22-yard line, and on 4th down and 1, Wesley Moore was going to go for it. And Coach Jack McLaren in the press box called down to Bobby Frazier and said, Bobby, give Wesley the headsets. And we could hear it. I'm sitting right by him in the press box. And he said, Wesley, you have got to kick the field goal here. If you don't kick the field goal, you're not going to see this ball again. And Wesley Moore, in his usual manner, in only a way that Wesley Moore could say it, expletively, I'm not kicking no field goal. And Cy pleaded with him to kick the field goal, and finally gave in, and Cy told him, go put your arms around Renfro and tell him, pat him on the back and said, son, I need you to kick this field goal. And the last thing I heard in the headsets from Coach McLaren was Wesley Moore saying, Where's that Sarah Renfro at?
not the guy that
So Renfro goes out and kicks the field goal. But interestingly enough, for such a game-winning event,
right?
3 freshmen were involved in that kick. 3 freshmen. The kicker, Ernest Renfro, is a freshman. Terry Anderson is a freshman from Boston, Massachusetts. And Big John Smith was a long snapper from Macon, Georgia, who was Renfro's homecoming. And so 3 freshmen are a part of the most critical play probably in Bethune-Cookman football annals of history, in that regard. Not only did Terry Anderson hold, he started the football game for Randy Walker, a freshman. So that told you the kind of confidence that Coach Moore had in his football team. And it was a really great football team. But the game was an outstanding game. It hung in the balance. I know the final score says 21-13, and even Willie Jackson called me on Friday, and we were talking. And he said, "Len, did we score again?" I said, "Yes, Willie, we had to score again." I said, "I know you."
He sounded just like Willie.
I said, I know you're a ferocious hitter. Maybe you forgot a little bit. But I said, after FAMU turned the football over, Willie said, "The only thing I remember is after we kicked the field goal, they called 3 penalties on us. And we didn't commit those penalties." But I said, we got the football back, and with less than 40 seconds to go, 30 seconds to go in the game, Willie Collins kept the football and went 31 yards for the clinching touchdown. And I can tell you this, that field goal took forever to cross. It was hung in suspended animation. And all I could think of as everybody on the Cookman side was blowing it. It was blowing. When it cleared the bar, all I could think of was when that referee raised his hand, good, how is he going to get out of Tallahassee, Florida? How is he going to get out of here? Because it set off an enormous roar from the Bethune-Cookman side. And I tell you, it was some kind of celebration. I still contend everybody who was African-American was in Tallahassee that night from Daytona.
Pretty much.
You could have robbed Daytona any way you wanted to, But it went down as one of the most iconic experiences that any of us could remember. Now, there was a legend that we had heard all of our lives, and we didn't know whether it would come to fruition, Daryl. The legend was if Bethune-Cookman ever beat Florida A&M, they would let school out the following week. Sure enough, when we got back to campus, it was Thanksgiving week. Ralph knows this. 11 o'clock on Monday morning, we had chapel program. And the chapel was packed. And President Moore was up talking about the game a little bit and everything. And the students were sitting there saying, "We want to go home." President Moore looked over at the Dean of Arts and Sciences. Dr. Carnegie was the dean at the time. And Dr. Carnegie nodded to President Moore, and President Moore let class out after chapel that day. And all roads went everywhere. We were home for Thanksgiving by 4 o'clock that afternoon. I even went to Jacksonville just to get out of town,
Because he only had a block to go home.
Right. So everyone remembers that. And all my friends from FAMU said, "We told y'all when y'all beat us, y'all were going to let school out." I said, "Well, we out. And we're here, but it was a glorious time." And so tomorrow evening at 5 o'clock, from 5 to 7 at the Rosen Shingle Creek, a cast of characters from the 73 team, and they've opened it up to any Wildcat former football players who want to come. We're going to have a celebration and a good time over there for a couple of hours and meet and greet. I'm looking forward to it. I think Willie and a lot of the other guys, just so fortunate to be here 50 years later. We lost a lot of good people along the way.
Yes, we did.
And I think of my dear classmate Benny Sunshine Hudson.
Yes, indeed.
And who I know would have given an arm to be there. He was a diehard Wildcat. But I can't wait because I feel so blessed to be here 50 years later. How many people are not here?
Who can say
You
it
know,
right?
and that's why I said highly blessed and favored.
right.
So it's a special time for me. And the coup d'etat would be for us to knock off the Rattlers 50 years later. Boy, that would be something
Yeah,
special.
In the 100th year of football.
And
Right.
I always say this: Bethune, Cookman, and FAMU expect the unexpected.
Indeed.
And I know people think I'm crazy, but I've seen Miss Bethune show up. Okay, I've seen her show up and show out.
I think we better move on.
Okay.
Ralph got
Okay,
scared
Ralph.
over there.
Ralph,
Ralph got
Ralph,
scared
what?
over there.
Well, they brought her back in the
Scared over there.
hologram a few years ago at the
Now,
Classic.
I hope we don't get back in and Ralph tell us last week he saw her. Okay.
Yeah.
She rode the bus. Guys, before we go to our commercial break, Senior Appreciation Day here in Daytona this past Saturday. Kickoff 1 p.m. As the saying goes, our Wildcats went ham. We rushed for a season best. Rushed. We're not talking about final stats. We're talking about rush. 412 yards, 4 touchdowns.
That's
Wow.
Daryl. That's watching that game
Oh,
and watching how the game flipped. That was a total beatdown.
oh, that was.
I mean,
That's enforcing your
physically,
will, yeah.
Literally,
Yeah.
you broke the will of the opponent.
Yes.
Alabama A&M did not even want to snap the ball again.
No. I mean,
Yeah, you're right.
And they tried everything to stop us. They even went cover 0, 8 in the box, and still could not stop the run.
yes, indeed.
You would have had to been there to see it, though, to believe it.
But again,
Or on HBCU, go.
I mean, I thought that all along we had the potential to produce those kind of numbers, and I was always frustrated that we wasn't. Our offense was slowing us down. But one thing about this Bethune-Cookman team is that they don't quit, and they go full speed for 60 minutes. And that's what I'm looking forward to for Saturday, 60 minutes of total hell.
3 Wildcats recorded 100 or more yards rushing on the day, led by number 8, Walter Simmons III, with a game-high 165 yards on the ground.
I don't know if your guys saw me. I got up and went downstairs and left my seat. And as I was walking downstairs, I saw a former teammate who was at Cookman during the time that I was there. Quite naturally, I didn't play, but he was on the team. And he said to me, he said, "Larry, where you going?" And I said to him, "I'm going to put my tars on in them holes out there."
I'm coming through, baby.
I think
Put me on the
think
stat
I
list.
Get through
Nigga,
that.
let me get me in the game.
Yeah, that was just an awesome offensive explosion, and particularly for the offensive line.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, you couldn't have blocked any better than what they did Saturday. And
But Walter looked so comfortable back there, running that offense. And I think that was just really impressive, the way he guided the offense.
Well, you have to, guys, think about this. We drove that ball 99
Yes.
yards, and we only threw one pass in that sequence of plays.
And we were complaining about the
We
ball
were
going into the
one-
end zone.
Yeah, but we complained about that. And when my key went through the middle. and
You
he
were talking
shot-
about freshmen on that,
Yeah.
50 years ago, and look,
what
senior
happened.
day.
Senior day. Here
Yeah.
comes this freshman.
Yeah.
And that whole parted like Moses
Sure
in the
did,
Red
yeah.
Sea.
Yeah.
And he went right on through there, went through there so fast. I had just said, as many times as we run this football, what's going to be our longest run of the year?
And that was our longest
That was
run.
the longest
That was
at
the
the
longest
time. That was
run.
the longest
That was
run
the
of the
longest
year.
run.
And I mean, he took it to the house.
Oh, definitely took it to the house, and That's all we saw in the second half.
That's all we saw.
That's all we saw.
That's
in the
all
second
we saw.
half.
But how about the complimentary football? How about once we scored, that defense just
Perked up.
And I watched.
Larry, hold that thought. When we come back from break, we'll talk about more Bethune-Cookman versus Alabama A&M.
WAIGLP, Daytona Beach, Joy, 106.3.
Styles 101 Beauty Salon and Barbershop, located at 955 Orange Avenue in Daytona Beach, is a salon for all your hair care needs. Styles 101 specializes in hair extensions, shortcuts, the natural look, hair coloring, locks, lock extensions and repair, and braids. They also offer nail, eyebrow, and eyelash services. Styles 101 is the local shop for Bethune-Cookman University, Embry-Riddle, and Daytona State College. For more information or to schedule an appointment, 386-872-6413. That's 386-872-6413. Styles 101 Beauty Salon and Barbershop.
Styles 101 Beauty Salon and Barbershop is currently hiring. Their location is 955 Orange Avenue, suite number 190. They are currently hiring for barbers, nail techs, and beauticians. For more information, 386-852-1632. That's 386-852-1632. Styles 101 Beauty Salon and Barbershop.
This is your favorite gospel station, 106.3 FM. Tune in every Monday and Wednesday at 2 o'clock. Let's Speak Bible.
Tune in to Daytona Beach Radio with your host, the Reverend Dr. L. Ronald Durham. This is the city's most exciting news and information program here on Joy 106.3 every Wednesday beginning at 12 noon. Don't miss it.
Special thanks and support to WAIG comes from R.J. Gaines Funeral Home, where Alexander C. Wynn III, licensed funeral director and owner. R.J. Gaines Funeral Home provides full burial services, entombment, cremation, transporting services, pre-planning arrangements, and consultations. R.J. Gaines Funeral Home is located at 804 Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune Boulevard. R.J. Gaines Funeral Home, 386-253-7686.
Ladies and gentlemen and ladies, we want to bring...
We're back live here on the Gridiron Show. Larry, you were saying before we went to our break.
I was talking about the complimentary football. I watched the coaches show from Alabama A&M with Cornell Maynard.
I watched that too.
He said we got out to a 14-0 lead. He said, I never would have believed we wouldn't score again. Bethune-Cookman scored 31 unanswered points. That defense really stepped up its play even more once we got the lead. They were not going to surrender that lead to Alabama A&M.
But you know, in addition to that, though, I think the reason why the defense played so well in the second half because we were moving the ball.
Yeah, we
on
got
the
some
ground.
help. We got some help.
Oh, yeah.
So we were making
heck of a
first
break,
downs,
yeah.
and they got a lot of reps.
They got a rest, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the complimentary
So
Right,
what did it take us? 7 minutes to drive 99 yards?
Somewhere in there, probably around 6:30 at least, you know.
Yeah.
And like I said, it was all because we didn't use the pass. We were running the football.
Guys, let's look at this real quick. While we go to the stats. Going in the third quarter with a minute 55 remaining in the third quarter. I think it got left off your sheets, guys. Sorry. CC was aggravating me. Our Wildcats trail 14-10, guys. 14-10 with 1:55 remaining in the third quarter.
Yep.
They kick it, controversial, win the end zone. Some say it was touch before it went in there, and what have you. But nonetheless, we had to drive the ball 99 yards to put it in the go-ahead touchdown. Makai Shaw. Young guy. California, freshman.
Big back.
Big back. I think,
sir.
it's listed 6 foot 220.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's much more than that.
Me too.
Yeah. Raced up the gut 52 yards. All right. Come back. K. Hector knocks it in. We go up 17-14. Jimmy Robinson is big. You know, I mean,
he played big.
Those guys are running like madmen out
He
there.
played big.
Really running,
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
Well, you know your offensive line is blocking.
Yeah. Oh,
when Jimmy can turn the corner for 18 yards. Jimmy's
right.
Yeah.
Right.
When he can get 18
Right.
on the edge, somebody's blocking.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Goes back to what the defense did. We kick the ball back to them. Our defense forces them 3 and out. We go 80 yards, 8-play drive, leaving 4 minutes and 6 seconds. You know, taking 4 minutes and 6 seconds off the clock. Right. Then Mr. Simmons.
They go 3 and out.
Yeah.
Kick it back to us.
Right.
Walt Simmons, RPO pull, straight up the gut. They're in cover 0. No safety in the middle of the football field, which means once you clear the line of scrimmage,
Right.
That's
It's
it.
open
Yeah.
city.
It's
He had to put a parachute behind him to slow him down. He ran out of the back of the end zone.
Right.
You know? Yeah. Just overall, you know, great day for our offense, you know, and that's the way to be next man up. We know Bethea went down with apparent ankle injury. I think he's back from what we've seen this week. So, you know, it's amazing. Then here comes that defense again.
Yeah, but you know, Darryl, if you go back to when Talik started the game for us, on the very first and 10, we had 3rd down. And
Right,
2.
right.
We came out of the shotgun, and Talik got the snap, stepped back like he's gonna pass, and then started running. The linebackers were already gone.
Yeah.
He ran for 15 yards and got down on the ground then, and I said right then, they're not even accounting for the quarterback. They're not even accounting for him. You know, so the run, that let me know right then. The run game was going to be over for the quarterback at least.
Start the engine up. Start the engine up.
And that's what we...
See, you know, the other thing I see for us on Saturday, how do you prepare for us? What quarterback do you prepare for?
What quarterback, what running back, you know, just...
So what's your game plan on defense? Because you don't know what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to go to my grave on this one. The way to beat Florida A&M from the time that I was a child to now. FAMU is a football team that you don't run away from. You run at them. You run at them. And if you run at them, that neutralizes their speed.
Mm-hmm.
And if we pound that football and block, when you left the stadium, you said to me, Fred, if we call this game next week and we play a clean football game, we got a good chance to win the football game.
That's right.
Don't let FAMU have big plays. Pound the football.
Take away some of those turnovers that we had this past week, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we had 4 or 3?
3, I believe.
We had 2 of them in the red zone.
You know, Linwood said something, you know, this, and not to go to the classic as of yet, but this has 2010 written all over it. You know, in reverse. In reverse.
It does.
It does. It has, you know, in reverse.
Because if you remember, when we went into the Classic in 2010, we were so sure we were going to win.
Oh, yeah.
It was just a matter of us showing up.
Right. And the tide turned.
It
really did. You know,
one play.
Right.
One
play.
hit.
Yeah.
One hit.
Yeah, the tide turned. Tide turned.
I'm telling you, what is our strength? What has it been all year long? And we complained about it. But we know we run the football. Now, good things happened to us Saturday because of a variety of things. I think we got some linemen back.
Yes.
We finally got the RPO game going, using a quarterback. I would always say, how do you run an RPO offense when you don't have a running quarterback? You got to have the threat to run that football.
Right.
That's the whole key.
Right.
But you know, when I realized we were doing something different that I hadn't seen all year, we start pulling the guard.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like a counter.
Yeah.
The guard comes off the backside and he leads the running back through the hole.
that just showed you that we had changed our thought pattern on how we were going to attack A&M.
Guys, we got a big offensive line too. We got some big boys up front.
And we moved some people around. There's some funny plays called where Mr. Wells lines up out, and we're not talking about Donovan Wells.
I saw this kid. I said, "Who the heck is that kid? Where he come from?"
Hey, he ran the perfect comeback or a hitch. You know, it was perfect, man.
Guys, think back with me. What is it? 3-4 weeks ago, we came back from Jacksonville after the Southern game. The vitriol on YouTube about fire the offensive line coach. He's no good, et cetera, et cetera. Did you see what those kids did to the offensive line coach?
They dunked him.
They were so drunk. They dunked him, tried to dunk him twice with Gatorade.
And that's what I was telling CC today. I said, what they're telling you that he brought us through.
Yes, sir. That's what he's telling
and that was actually a compliment.
That's what it was.
The dunking is a compliment.
Yeah.
But we all knew that guy was a good offensive line coach. We just had some 3 major.
I don't think any of us wanted to tell him differently.
No.
Well, no.
Not in his face. Anyway.
Hey, Daryl, as bad as we wanted him to move his car.
I know, right? Bro, we can fry and cook right here.
We're fry over here, no problem.
We make sure no grease get on it, Coach, all right? BCU, Walter Simmons goes for 165 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns, as we said earlier. Jimmy Robinson had 137 yards on the ground.
And they were gritty yards.
Definitely gritty yards.
Literally put his head down. You know, when you watch us run Jimmy inside,
right?
That line moves.
Yeah.
He's pushing the power.
And
he doesn't go down.
No.
We really, you remember we used to always say that our offensive line wasn't making any push?
Yeah.
You can't say that anymore.
No, we pushing them.
And those are some good-sized guys across from there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There's some good-sized guys.
And Jimmy, his strength is in his legs.
Yes.
Low center of gravity.
And he kept him moving.
And he keeps him moving.
Keep him moving.
You got to wrap him up. First, you got to find him.
Right.
He's back there hiding.
And all of a sudden, he just opens up. He goes through. Yeah.
Mr. Shaw it wasn't done. Mr. Shaw had 109 yards on the ground himself with a touchdown of his own. 7 different receivers touched the ball on this past Saturday. Amari Stewart and Nabanye had 2 catches apiece. Then we go to the other side of the ball, guys. One guy who we thought wasn't going to be able to
what did I say
go for us.
I said if we go ahead and send that play.
And it was confirmed after the game. Right. It was sent in, and it was overturned, and Mr. Dearest Thomas was able to go. And
I knew that's what happened when he got on the field. I said they must have sent it in, and it was overturned.
Yeah. Finished with 9 tackles, 1.5 tackles for loss. Joshua Thornhill had 8 tackles and a quarterback sack and an interception. He had a game. Yeah.
I just like our defense. I just like the hustle. I mean, you're talking about a team that goes 100 miles an hour. That defensive team goes 100 miles an hour, and they do it for 60 minutes. But it's going to be interesting Saturday.
Stats for this past Saturday's game. Total yards. Alabama A&M 303, Bethune-Cookman 480. Passing yards for Alabama A&M 173, VCU 68. You can have that when you rush for 412 yards. Rushing yards for Alabama A&M 130, Bethune-Cookman 4 for 412. Penalty yards, important. This is important. One of the least penalized teams in the nation. Bethune-Cookman, 2 penalties, 20 yards. Cut out those mistakes, and you gotta
drive killers.
Yeah.
If you
fumbles, turnover,
those self-inflicted wounds, and I mean, they were clearly they were not created by the defense. It was stuff.
Yeah, it was really self-inflicted.
We did those. We turned the ball over.
Yeah.
Going into the red zone, going in for scores.
Right.
Yeah.
So we left points on the football field. We cleaned that up and played a clean game this week. I'm telling you guys.
Penalty yards for Alabama A&M, 7 penalties for 70 yards. First downs, Alabama A&M 18, Bethune-Cookman 25. Third downs, Alabama A&M was 6 for 15, Our Wildcats, 8 for 15. They're getting better over there, Ralph.
Getting better.
4th downs, Alabama A&M 1 for 2, Bethune Cookman 1 for 1. Time of possession. Time of possession, which is going to be very important this Saturday.
Yeah.
Alabama A&M, 27 minutes, 12 seconds. Bethune Cookman, 32 minutes, 48 seconds. There you have it. And we showed that we were a quick strike offense. But, I mean, you don't want to get down with these guys Saturday. Yeah, you can't, everybody you can't rally from behind with. Yeah.
I mean, Florida A&M has a very good football team. I think if we play our game, we can be successful.
Guys, if they blitz us early, run blitz, we got to throw the RPO passes like we threw against Mississippi Valley. We don't have to throw the ball deep.
No, that's
all I need this
5 and out, 5 and in.
Let's not go to that game plan yet, guys. We still got a grade.
He said we still
got a grade, guys. All right, real quick. It's offering time. Everybody can participate. We want to see your grades over here in the comment section. All right. This is going for jerseys and headsets, all right, together. All right, let's go. Quick round. Quarterbacks.
A.
B.
B plus.
Running backs.
A.
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 Wide receivers. Tight ends.
B.
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 Offensive line.
B plus.
A plus.
A.
I don't think he wants to agree with us. That's just who he is. Yeah.
Diesel.
No.
The diesel tells the truth.
No, that's water.
Yeah, it really might be because I am wet.
All right, guys. Offensive line.
I thought we just
did that.
Offensive line.
Pussy.
I wanted to make sure you remember your grade.
Yeah, it's going to be an A plus.
I mean, Daryl, I want to receive you. If you forgot his grade.
All right.
That's foolishness.
He tried to make
That's
us
the
forget.
foolishness, yeah.
All right, let's go overall offense.
B plus.
B.
B plus.
And the reason I'm giving them B plus, 3 fumbles. Unforced errors.
You got a couple O-line, A+. All right, let's go flip the side of the field. Let's go defensive line.
B plus.
A.
A.
Well, those guys grade out. Scholars over there.
You learn something about grading. It's nearing Thanksgiving. You want to be benevolent, okay? I got a lot of kids who need a little curve.
Let's go linebackers.
A.
B plus.
I go B.
Defensive backs. Defensive backfield, we'll say.
B.
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 All right. Overall defense.
B.
B plus.
That was the #1 offense in the conference coming in. Alabama A&M was.
Right.
And to shut them out.
And just, yeah.
Yeah.
I got to go at least A-. I really do. Because they didn't even sniff a touchdown the second half.
In and up. All right, guys. Let's go special teams. Ralph?
I'm going to have to give them a C plus.
C.
I'm going to give them a B. I thought we played a little bit better in the special teams than we did Thursday night. I really did.
And we did get our first.
I was going to say that. That's why I looked at you.
In the end zone.
That's why I looked over there.
That's why I was saying. Even though we had the wind blowing that way.
Yeah, even though somebody said, well, you can't count that because he kicked you with the wind. I'm thinking he still got it in the end zone.
Yeah, he got it in the end zone.
Who said that? Well,
the Diesel's friend.
The Diesel's friend, right?
Yeah, I said the Diesel's friend.
Okay. All right.
The one that has the CAMO shirt on.
Oh, yeah.
No, I didn't say that.
Him.
You can't count.
Yeah, him. Oh,
him.
Okay.
Him.
Yeah. So you talking about Daryl?
He can't even spell.
You talking about? Oh,
Yep.
yeah. Okay.
I never said that.
Oh, I remember you saying it.
Yeah, you jump on his side. Nah, he gonna make sure you stay wet. So,
guys, you look at us as a team, and I think it just gets lost because when you see us, we look small.
Mm-hmm.
We're a very physical football.
oh, very to
physical.
the end.
Very physical. That offensive line is not just blocking. When you move people,
Yeah,
we're physical. Defensively, we get after you.
it's man, it's like fighting that big family in town, bro. It never is going to end. It's never going to end right when you think it's over. Oh, there you go, right now. That's who it is playing Cookman.
They keep coming, and they get stronger as the game goes on.
They do.
And what do all coaches and even players say about offensive linemen? They love to run block because that's what
It's easy.
that you can impose your will on
Right.
someone.
Right.
And so once you get that ball moving and start snowballing, you could see Alabama A&M just willed it. They didn't want the physicality.
It was even not even like, up in the stands, we were like, hey, man, one time catch him in the middle of shifting.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't even have to do that.
No.
Like, bro, hey, thanks a lot for the shift.
Yeah,
you just
that's
played
what I
right
kept
into the
saying.
hands.
Just keep jumping.
Right,
Keep adjusting.
right.
You've got nothing out of it. So
Right,
keep
nothing.
doing it.
Yeah.
I did understand why they were shifting because it didn't make sense. I mean,
Yeah.
we were coming. The freight train was coming.
Yeah, regardless.
Yeah, so
I love a team with physicality but discipline. We don't make penalties.
Right.
I love that. I really love that. The fact that even when the game got chippy,
Right.
we didn't retaliate
No.
on the sideline.
No.
It shows the discipline that we possess.
I said to, people who were sitting up there by us, top row is the best row over B section.
Yeah, I have to say that. I sit down from y'all.
We noticed
that. I sat down where I noticed, and I looked, and they had my frat brother in there, and I said, that is a church session over there.
Boy, look at that.
I said, all they need is a connection plate.
It was so bad they had to put the security guard back there.
I had my headsets on trying to listen to the game, and through the headsets I heard somebody say, fake! Watch the fake! I said, Ralph is down there. I said, no, he's screaming.
Hey, boy, you get hurt. Hear that over on the visitor side, bro. Yeah.
Boy, this is something else here.
Now, it was the atmosphere on Saturday was just unbelievable. As the PA announcer said, man, it's like old times, and it was. And, just to look down on the sideline and see every player engaged into that game. Nobody sitting down on the bench. Nobody then took the shoulder pads off, took the tape off their hands. It's just like, hey, man, we're all in this together. And then, like you said, the culmination was to see those guys, getting the cooler dumped on them. I mean, it's just, we see that in every game, but, I know we know just like that was.
Yeah, that for an offensive line coach to get water dumped on, that was like an honor.
Those guys never get credit.
No.
Them nor the linemen.
No.
No. But just, yeah.
Daryl, before y'all broke up, I just wanted your daddy to pronounce the benediction. They've had church today, okay?
Man, that row back there was loaded. I mean, we had Larry on one end of the row, and we had Travis Rowland on the other end of the row. You know, and in between, man, I tell you, it was, you know. Yeah, you would have thought all the guys were at the Kentucky Derby, man. You know, yeah, it's just great atmosphere and great that we can carry that over.
You want to be
into
playing
Saturday.
your best football.
At the end of
Oh
the
yeah,
season.
yeah,
For your
yeah,
best
yeah.
And like Stephen Holmes was saying, this was the offensive line's best debut.
Yeah,
all
yeah,
season
yeah,
long as far
yeah.
as their performance, and they believe
That carries over too.
They believe
that carries over.
does.
So, and we know we got to fight.
I started wondering because I came into the game after you guys, but I had my prime time glasses.
Oh yeah, it's your blenders on.
And inside the blenders it says "We believe," you know, in the case and everything. And I said, I wonder if it's in the glasses. I don't know what it is, but I know I believe in that offensive line right now. I really do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all do.
They played a tremendous game, and
I'm just happy for them. I really am.
Yeah.
For the whole team. They deserve something good to happen to them, and they created their own goodness.
yes, they did. Yeah. Yeah. I want them to create some goodness Saturday.
Yeah. I think you might get your wish.
You might get your wish.
I'm serious about that.
Get your wish. Yeah.
Just got a text. Coach Woody would like to say hello to everyone, and he's looking forward to seeing everyone.
Hey, get him on.
He's out with the head coach right now. If you can catch Roger up. You got, all right. Okay, there won't be no calling.
He's with the real head coach.
There won't be no calling.
I don't want to get him in trouble.
He was probably under the table sending the message.
That.
But no, he wants to see all Wildcats over in Orlando this weekend. And hey guys, on the real, Saturday's game turned a lot of things around. It wasn't just because of us winning. It was the whole atmosphere. They've opened up more tickets.
Right.
And I know we missed it. When we were talking about on campus. But there was a sighting on campus yesterday. There was a sighting on campus yesterday.
On our campus?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yeah, you said it, Larry. Put a D behind it and then another cat.
Wow, D.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He will be.
Wally back?
Wally is
was
back.
at the
right one.
He was at the basketball
real one.
game.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah,
at
it's
the
back.
basketball game last night. Yes, the real deal.
My man. Yes, sir. But I think Saturday is going to be exciting, and I just hope the real Wildcat fans come out and support these kids because they've worked hard all year long.
Definitely.
They have not quit. They worked all year long.
No,
and they had reasons to quit.
Oh, very much so.
They could have made excuses to quit, but these kids never quit.
But you know, every game you can see them getting better and better, Larry. You know, it's not a drop off. It's every aspect of the game. You know, from the line to the defensive line to the defensive backs, and all of it was just put together this past weekend.
Yeah, definitely so. So, man, I'm excited. I know CC's way excited now. I think his truck's packed up right now, bro.
It's diesel up. Took everything we had to keep him here tonight.
Bro, you ain't joking, man.
Here we go, Larry.
I almost had to shut 95 down, bro.
It's saucing you up real good, friend.
First he said, I got to go over here and buy me a shirt. I said, what are you buying the shirt for? I got all soaking wet. I'm thinking, dude.
And you know when he called me, he was like, yeah, it was raining in Jacksonville.
There we go.
An hour and a half away, and it probably won't be raining here. It's probably raining worse because it's coming up from South Florida. Yeah, drink some water. That's what you need to do.
But
cool yourself
you know,
out.
he did just like our football team. He hung in here with us.
You know, I'm checking these grades. I think this whole class gonna pass this year.
I know, right?
The grades. Boy, look here. Something miraculous has happened. There's some good grading going on in here.
Definitely some good grading going on. Guys, let's take it over to Orlando, guys. All right. Our Wildcats kick off 3:30 p.m. against the FAMU Rattlers. FAMU on the season, they average about 30.9 points per game. On the season, they've scored 309 points to their opponent's 15. I don't want Ralph to come in on this because he's going to say those numbers are screwed a little bit with some of the matchups they've played.
Okay, I'll be quiet.
You can say it, Ralph.
No, I mean...
What do the analytics say?
Well, I mean, the schedule was sort of set up for them. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from what they did this year because I think they had an excellent year. But they did play 3 D2 schools.
He just couldn't contain himself.
You know he wasn't
It was call him out or nothing else.
Nothing else. You know he was going to do it.
Watch the face.
I had to do it. I had to do
it. We don't do shout-outs on the show, but if we did.
Oh, man.
Guys, on the year, FAMU has rushed for 1,323 yards to their opponent's 854 passing. They've attempted 321 passes, completed 181, thrown 9 interceptions. Their opponents have attempted 304 and thrown 161 completions, 9 interceptions. So pretty even there. They average about 7.53 yards per game or per play. Per attempt when they're passing the ball for 2,417 yards. For total offense on the season, they ran 629 plays. Average play is about 5.9 yards. Game-wise, they average 374 yards per game. Penalties. They average about 82 yards in penalties. That's a very important number coming into this classic. Compared to their opponents, about 70.10. That number will tilt even more in this game because of our lack of penalties. On the season, FAMU's been penalized 88 times for 822 yards compared to the opponent's 83 times for 701 yards. So, goes back to another point that we said earlier, and this is the last stat we'll cover for them. Time possession. FAMU usually holds the ball 31 minutes, 37 seconds, compared to their opponent's 27.52. So, if you take our past game, time of possession, if we can balance that out and do what we need to do and both hold the ball, equal amount of time, it comes down to the end with mistake-free football. That's what it comes down to. Guys, what do we have to do? Let's talk about the Alpha One staffing search firm game plan. I'll go to Ralph first because CC.
Well, I think what this game's going to come down to is us making first downs. And what I mean by that is the more we make first downs, I feel the stronger our defense is going to be. That's the way I see it. I think we're going to have to mix a little passing in, but I think predominantly we run the ball.
First, shout out to my friend Alpha One. But with that being said,
you don't have any friends. You just call people names just to be relevant.
I got my friend. She actually sponsored the show, Ralph. But anyway,
but she's your friend?
Definitely.
I didn't know anybody was named Alpha One. I thought that was a company. Yeah, thanks. Moving right along because we're killing time with a guy who can't even wear the right colors to the show.
Oh my God! You know I got wet.
But you went to buy another shirt, and that's probably the shirt you bought.
Man.
Is blue your favorite color,
Let
bro?
him do his.
Go ahead and call in, Miss Emma.
No, there's no one here to save you.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead,
Anyway, for me, I feel like the game is going to begin and end on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. If we get that same kind of push, Larry, that we did from the defensive line, I think we'll do well, and offensive line also.
Did you write that script for him?
No.
Google must have wrote it. Larry, what do you think, man?
I just talked to Google.
I know.
Earlier.
Par for the course.
FAMU hangs their hat on their dark cloud defense. They constantly talk about it. The quickest way to break the will of an opponent is to attack the strength of their team.
Definitely.
If we have success moving the football, particularly on the ground, and I said earlier, you run at speed, you run away from strength. And I think the key to the football game is to attack Florida A&M inside the tackles in terms of the RPO game, get on the edge a little bit, but let that offensive line do what it's been doing. Let them block. Let's make it a physical encounter. All before I've been saying, let's play the game in space. I still want to exercise space a little bit, but I want to make this a physical confrontation. And if we are able to move that football on them against their defense and stay away from the turnovers ourselves, what have I been saying all year long? First downs will tell me where we are. If we're making first downs and possessing the football, we're keeping their offense off the football field, but we're also allowing ourselves to assert our ability to move the football against their defense. This is a winnable ball game, guys.
Very winnable.
This really is.
Very winnable.
The particulars may say not, but this is a rivalry game, you throw all stats out in a rivalry.
Oh, yeah. You know, I was talking to Miss Gramlin, who does the Hugh That Show with Hugh Jackson, and, you know, I said to her, the records are 0-0, and she couldn't understand what that was. You know, I know she's familiar with, you know, the Bayou Classic. Yeah. I'm like, in this rivalry game, you cannot look at records. If you go back to, like, we say 2010, look at the record. The record was screwed in 2010, and we saw the outcome of that game. You got very like teams coming in to play a football game where half the crowd is your crowd and the other half is the other team's crowd. So it's even when you come in there, it's just, you know, who focuses on that game more, who minimizes the mistakes and things of that nature. You know,
a trick play last
turn the game around.
So you got to
turn
be
the game
aware
aroing
of trick plays and things. And when Willie Simmons will
Willie coming with some trick plays now.
Yeah, he'll come out.
Oh, you got to roll the dice.
No risk it, no biscuit.
Right.
He will risk it, no doubt about it. But if we play the clean kind of football game that I'm talking about, don't turn it over, no self-destruction. I don't want to give Florida A&M big plays in the kickoff game. You know Riley is going to be pumped for this game. But listen, I would make him a non-factor. Literally.
Right.
Yeah, I would not give him a chance to have a big play in the kick return game.
Right.
Me and Daryl was having a conversation about that the other day, you know, about that young man and who to put on that young man. So, yeah, I agree with that.
No, I mean, literally, it's right there before us. My senior year, I wrote an article leading up to the Florida A&M game, and the Orlando Sentinel and the Daytona News Journal picked the article up. It was called Expect the Unexpected. When the Wildcat and Rattlers get together, it truly is.
I mean, it's kitchen sink, and then you have to, man, as a head coach, a FAMU head coach team. I know you have, and you can't look ahead to the next game, right? But the next game also has so many implications. Do you throw your whole kitchen sink at the Florida Classic?
Well, some of the FAMU people are posted. This is the trap game for them.
Right.
This is very much a trap game for them.
Right.
From that standpoint. But to me, it's more than that. It's a rivalry game.
Yes.
And so in a rivalry game,
you
throw everything out the window.
You got to throw everything out the window.
Because listen, The pressure is on them, not us.
Right.
We're playing with house money.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Literally.
Right.
So that's why I feel good.
We're going to be loose.
Right.
They're going to be tight.
Yeah.
Because they got something to prove, and we're going to be loose. And if we start moving the ball on them, that's going to play inside their psyche.
I know we have a very motivated team. I know we have a team that's going to play to the whistle. They're going to play to the end. They're not going to be a team that caved in like last year's team would cave in any negative thing. You're going to have to fight this ball club for 60 minutes.
Right.
To win this football game. And that makes me feel good. We're well coached and we're disciplined.
Very. And the last statement is the most of all, that, these guys are going to play as professionals and do,
You know that.
Yeah.
This is Bethune.
We're going to play bigger than we look.
This is Bethune-Cookman Super Bowl. This is our bowl game. Okay?
Yes,
for sure.
So you better come with it.
For sure.
You better be ready to match that intensity. Because we're coming to play.
For sure. Fans,
we just
go ahead,
gotta
Ralph.
stay away from the turnovers.
That's it.
Yes.
That's it.
That's
Don't
our
give them
Achilles heel.
anything cheap.
Don't give them. Make them work for it.
Fans, we want to hear from you. We're talking Florida Classic 2023. Call in 386-868-3411. 386-868-3411. We want to hear your Florida Classic game plan for the Maroon and Gold to come out victorious. 3:30 p.m. kickoff this Saturday in Camping World Stadium. So, guys, it's just, I'm happy. I mean, we've already accomplished something that we hadn't accomplished in years, and that can keep on going. And I think that's, not to speak for anyone, but I think that's what is in a lot of people's mind going into the off season. This can do so much for recruiting. I see it all across, where, FAMU's bringing recruits to the game and things of that nature. Yeah. But, you can,
We're going to hopefully make that work against them.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we can flip some of their recruits.
It can be done. I mean, remember what we heard in Memphis, Ralph?
Yeah, that was very interesting, too.
Yeah. And that was before anything.
It was interesting, like I said.
It was.
I mean, Daryl and I were sitting there at Memphis. They hadn't kicked the ball off. And we were just some warm-ups. We were talking to a Memphis recruit. He said, I'm here for my visit with Memphis. But he said, Bethune-Cookman sure look good. And
he said they've already been, talking to him also. Talking about Cookman. So, no matter where you go, across the nation, it's happening.
I put my trust in Raymond Woody's recruitment skills.
Oh, absolutely.
I do that. And I also know from 1 year what he does with player development.
Oh, for sure.
We're much better than we were last year. We know that.
Oh, yeah.
We much better than we were the first couple of games we played.
Oh, no doubt about it.
We've made improvement on that team.
Man, to see some of the guys who we know were struggling off the field with different things, to smile at the end of that game Saturday and laugh and joke with the coaches and their teammates and things of that nature. That's not artificial. That's not artificial. You can't. Yeah.
We're playing the right team at the right time.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. No doubt about that.
Yeah.
For sure. Carl, you're on the Hail Wildcats Gridiron Show. Welcome.
Welcome. Good evening, gentlemen. This is Vernon Jackson from Palm Beach. I would like to say hello to my classmate, CC.
All right, classmate.
Yes, sir. Thank you for calling in. How's it going, man?
It's going fine. I was so happy on Saturday. The weather felt like Palm Beach when I went to Daytona. I said, wow, Daytona was smoking with heat. But
it was.
It was worth it. But I'm so proud as an alumni, the way our team played. When I'm always praying for the team because I'm a minister. So I tell my brother and different ones, I say, when I'm praying for the team, I don't call them the Wildcats. When I make a prayer, I say the Cats. And people be looking at me, but I'd be so serious, Lord, help our team because, minus those fumbles, the team made a whole different transition at that game. It's like, this is Bethune Cookman of old football. They showed up and they showed out. I strongly believe, like you all have been saying, if the team that beat Alabama A&M, our team, and they come out, clicking on all cylinders, and, we already got the best band in the land, then we're going to have our mascot.
Whoa, Willie.
We're ready.
Definitely so, man. And it's just, we're looking forward to seeing all Wildcat fans over there. We're actually, for me, I'm looking to see all Rattler fans. It's time for, not saying the game was bad off, not saying the attendance was bad off, but for the upswing and just for those two families to truly, come together and have a great time in Florida, our classic, Florida Classic. So.
The biggest
absolutely
classic of all classics.
I was born and raised in Palm Beach. All my family, majority of them come out of Tallahassee. So me and my sisters was raised. This is our home, Palm Beach, but everybody else from Tallahassee. So I'm praying that we beat them Rattlers because I got a nephew. He played in FAMU band. He sent me a text as they showed me the score from last year. So right now, I'm just hoping and praying everything work out that I can say that score you sent me. Oh, y'all can brag. You got the bragging rights from last year. But, the last time we beat those Rattlers was 2019 on my birthday, November 23rd, 2019.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to this year beating those Rattlers.
Most definitely. We're definitely looking forward to it. And I know our guys are going to be prepared and ready to go. They're definitely going to be prepared.
We ready.
We ready.
Hail Wildcats.
Hail Wildcats. Hey, thanks for calling in, man, and we'll see you. We'll say happy Thanksgiving to you. We won't be on next week, but we'll be on the week after, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Yeah, and my birthday is actually on Thanksgiving Day this year.
Right on. Well, happy early birthday. And I hope Coach Woody's listening. Let's go get this W for my man, Vernon.
Well, let's go get it for my birthday. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Hail Wildcats.
Hail Wildcats.
386-868-3411. 386-868-3411. That's the number to call in. We got a special guest here in the studio with us today, Mr. CC Cruse. I know we're not used to seeing him here in the studio, but he's here, and he's available to talk to you on 386-868-3411. CC, where are you sitting at the game? You got your tickets yet?
I am. I do have my tickets. I am sitting on the 50-yard line, C08, where all the Hail Wildcats will be. Where you sitting at, Daryl?
Out in my diesel truck.
I can't hear you.
Sit down at the Florida Classic? What's that, man?
Fourth quarter, guys. Alabama A&M 27, Mississippi Valley 21.
Wow.
Oh,
wow. Boy.
Wow.
I saw on a lot of shows this week they were talking about that U-Haul. Hey, boy. No matter the outcome of that might,
right.
Yeah.
That might be the seal of it right there.
Yeah. 386-868-3411. 386-868-3411. Hey, just to all our fans, I know you see us laughing and joking. It's about brotherhood. This is what our show is about, and we carry that into the weekend. Join us, become a part of it. But before we started the show this year, when we started talking about it, when we were going through the whole coaching change and everything, we were talking about just, fan support and things of that nature. There's a lot of organizations, a lot of great organizations out there that's helping to support, Bethune-Cookman football, athletics and things of that nature. Become a part of them, guys. Your student athletes definitely need it. We can't just talk about it. We all have to be about it, and that's what we are. Join the Gridiron Club. Join the 1923 Society. Just, join the Champions Club. But, become a part of something. Be a part of something that you're proud of. What is being built here is nothing short of miraculous, especially with the quick turnaround and things of that nature. And that's, I'm not speaking for anybody else. I'm speaking for me and how enjoyable it has been to, follow Bethune-Cookman football over the highways, byways, pulling up with Ralph in the stands. And, you almost have to bring a glue gun, man, to keep him attached up in the stands, So we want you to become a part of it. We thank you for tuning in to the Gridiron Show and all that it brings to you. We're going to continue to bring Wildcat football to you guys. We're going to sit you right on the 50-yard line every chance we get, let you know the behind-the-scenes things, everything that goes on with Wildcat football. 386-868-3411. I know most of our fans are probably over partying already in Orlando. I saw some cakes being baked and all kind of stuff at some of the vacation houses and everything. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. And if you want to travel over, join Ralph and the crew heading over to Camping World. Buses departing 11:30 this Saturday from Home Depot here in Daytona Beach. $45. You don't have to worry about parking. You don't have to worry about the trip over. And kick back, ride, charge your phone, and then let's get a great tailgate on. 386-868-3411. CC.
So I guess we got nobody calling in because they're all in Orlando.
That's what it is, man.
Having a good time.
You know that. All roads lead to Orlando.
Special shout out to Mr. Theron Waters. He's inviting everyone to Florida Blue Fan Fest. I know he'll have a tent set up over there, special gifts going out, so stop by and see him out there. There's a huge concert going on, starting at 11 o'clock on Saturday. That's a part of the Fan Fest. I think
that's going to be in the center.
Yeah, around. They usually set up a stage. So I think, is it Trina and Usher? Or
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so take a field.
Yeah. So.
All I would say is that if you wasn't planning on coming to the game, change your mind, come and support the Wildcats. Every single person that's up there screaming and yelling, all it does is give the guys just more energy and knowing that you're behind them. So it's tickets available. They just open up selling more tickets.
Yeah.
So come over, support the guys, and support the university.
And our resident meteorologist said that the weather will be out of there. It will be great weather on Saturday, and so we're looking forward to it.
Which one? Are we talking about the guy from Daytona or the guy from Jacksonville? The weather guy?
We don't listen to Jacksonville weather.
Oh, okay.
They'll lead you wrong every time.
I just want to know.
If you listen to Jacksonville weather, he didn't know it was raining in Daytona, but it was storming in Jacksonville. And
Fred, I tell you.
Don't call on Larry. Larry lives in Daytona.
He lives in Jacksonville too.
386-868-3411. 386-868-3411. Huge shout out to Amari Hill Robinson for being invited to the Legacy Bowl being played later on this year. And then there's a couple other guys who hadn't come out yet, and we were trying to have Mike Cordy, who heads up the FCS Bowl, who have been invited to the FCS Bowl that's being played here in Daytona. I think that game is December 8th, FCS Bowl. I know Tink Boyd's been invited, Tyleek Bethea, Laquan Johnson, and a couple other of our Wildcats, Iverson Clement, have been invited to that game. And so it's a great game to come out and see. Talent from all over the FCS. And then in January, hopefully those guys do great in that game. And in January, they'll be elevated to the Tropical Bowl, which is played in Camping World Stadium with the FBS guys. So, yeah, looking forward to that. Our Wildcats being invited to those games. 386-868-3411. 386-868-3411. That's the number to talk to the Hail Wildcats Gridiron Gang. So, Larry, what time does the event start tomorrow night?
It starts at 5 p.m. From 5 to 7 in the Rosen Shingle Creek
Okay.
Hotel. And as I said, it's open to all Wildcats, whether you're a 73 team or whatever team you play for the Cats. And it's just going to be a good time had by all, meet and greet, and a lot of stories being told. And just looking forward to it, man. Like I said, it just seems surreal that 50 years ago,
Right.
you know, that you were part of something that special. And then the other part of it is still being here 50 years later. You know?
Right.
That's the greatest blessing.
Well, what's going on here? I mean, just being here 50 years later. Do you know whether or not Coach Moore going to be there?
I don't know. I did talk with Coach Bobby Frazier. As I said, there are three. They're actually Coach Wesley Moore, Albert Williams, who travels with X's and O's show, Bobby Frazier, and Jack Shaverko, who taught with me at Daytona State, who's the defensive line coach. Those are the only living coaches that are still remaining from that 1973 squad.
Okay.
So I know Coach Frazier said that he would be in he would be in Orlando, and provided the weather is not crazy, you know, he's 80-something years old, so you know how that is. Trying to move around in Orlando on Florida Classic weekend, whether you got rain or no rain.
I'm not sure that's a place to be for an 80-year-old guy driving.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's crazy without the Classic.
Yeah. So it's interesting. I plan to try to get out myself to a highly anticipated football game tomorrow night.
Mainland.
No, I'm going to Jones High School.
Oh, are you?
Really?
Jones Edgewater game, yep.
There's another one going on over there. Popka goes to Seminole. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, yeah.
And that area is
That backyard
bustling.
brawl, you got to drive up into Seminole High School, which is in a neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know, to get in there. But that's an annual thing for those two schools.
Yes, it is.
So it's that time of year. Mainland will be home. Travis Rowland and his crew taking on Rockledge High School this week, and if they're victorious, next Friday night, Thanksgiving Friday, Black Friday, they will be either hosting Ugallie Commanders or the Blue Streaks rather of Sebring High School. So Maine will be home for the next 2 weekends for certain, possibly 3.
Right. Caller, you're on the Hail Wildcats Gridiron Show. Welcome.
Good evening, gentlemen. How we doing?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. This is Marcus calling in.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to talk briefly about the game this upcoming Saturday. Looking forward to an exciting game. One thing I noticed, the way to beat FAM or to have a chance of beating FAM is to not get in a shootout with them. We can't afford to keep trying to throw the ball down the field. I see a lot of teams they played and they beat this year try to do the same thing they do. We can't do that. We got to, like Larry said, you got to run at them. Just pound the ball. It's all about that ball control, time management. And that's the way you can really beat a team that's explosive like them, because they really get big wins off big explosive plays. So if you limit explosive plays, keep the offense off the field, and control the clock, we'll have a chance. I mean, we show what we can do on the ground. That's Wildcat football. We pound the ground, and that's why I see where we can really get a victory this weekend.
That's the perfect game plan, Marcus. It certainly is. I love it.
Definitely so. Marcus, I know we don't like doing predictions, but you have a prediction for us?
My strong prediction this weekend is really I'm looking forward to if we play we have the same game plan this past Saturday. I will predict a 28-17 score. We on top.
28-17. All right, Marcus. We'll see if that comes out, sir.
Yes, indeed. I look forward. I mean, I won't be at the game. I got a DJ, but I definitely will be tuned in.
10-4, man. Well, we look to talk to you at the probably first week in December when we come back on the air, and we'll see how your prediction holds up.
Most indeed.
All right, sir. Hail Wildcats.
Hail
And we'll talk to you soon.
Hail Wildcats. Take care.
Sir. Let's go. All right. 386-868-3411. 386-868-3411. That's the number to talk to the Hail Wildcats Gridiron Gang. I was looking at the score. It's 30-21 Mississippi Valley. Looks like Alabama A&M's driving, but they just got a unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against them. It's about that time because there's 2 minutes left in the game. So yeah, it's about that time.
It's time to start throwing helmets.
And when the quarterback slipped down, you come over there to defend him from 20 yards away.
Not knowing what's going on.
Guys, the kicking game could be very big in this football game, too. Special team-wise, both teams feature pretty good place kickers and also pretty good punters. So you either got to win the special teams or be even in it, Yeah. But that's another phase of the game that's very important.
But this is probably the first time in the last 15 years where we have not ran a kickback for a touchdown.
Yeah, I would agree.
We have not run one back.
I would agree.
And it's about time.
Yeah.
I can see a kick being ran back and Ralph running down there on the field right beside him. No, it is. It's definitely time, Ralph.
It's time.
It's definitely
we got
time.
one of the premier kickoff returners, and we haven't run one back. So it's time.
If that happens, Daryl, I want you to get an audio. There goes Ralph. It'd be like the Auburn Alabama game, the kick six.
Right.
Ralph going down the sideline with it.
True fan.
Caller, you're on the Hail Wildcats Gridiron Show. Welcome.
Hello, you guys are doing a great job once again. I want to throw a theory I have that, I'm not a coach, but I know you guys can come up with something relative to this. Now, I noticed all the games that FAMU have played in this year, their opponents have been in the game with them in the first half. And they go in at halftime, they make adjustments, and they come out and then just really beat up on their opponents. What happens, what is the possibility of their opponents coming out with something in the second half that they don't see in the first half? So they go in and make adjustments to what you did in the first half, but in the second half, you come out with something totally different. I'm going to hang up and listen for responses.
Hey, thanks for calling in, man. We look forward to seeing you on Saturday. You got a prediction for Saturday before we give our response?
Well, I love my Wildcats unconditionally. Right now, I just don't believe that we're going to come out on top. But I do remember what happened in 2010. And payback, as they say, is a you fill in the blank.
10-4, man. Well, thank you for calling in the Hail Wildcats, and we'll respond to that question. Yeah.
All right.
Have a good night, sir.
Bye.
But, the real mystery is what are we going to come out with? Because I don't know how you prepare for us because you don't know what we're coming out with.
Well, this is the thing, and it's peculiar because as we were reading, the stats are going through the play line earlier for our pass game, our offense woke up late in the third quarter. And I want to say offensive side of the ball, but we woke up late in the third quarter. So, I mean, you got a playbook probably that thick, right? You got a playbook probably that thick. You see what they give you early, take what they give you, and then keep something back in your repertoire. It just says they're going to keep it back in their repertoire and keep the game even. Keep the game even. Because if they have to go into their bag of tricks, then
Well, see, I think you play it fairly close to this.
Right.
What I want to do, I want to take FAMU into deep water. They've not played a close game.
No.
I want to get them in the fourth quarter,
right,
where the pressure can start to mount. And I don't need to do something different. I need to do what I do best. But if I'm in the game and I can do what I do best, that's what happened in the game Saturday.
Yes.
We didn't deviate.
No.
We got the game into the fourth quarter. They asked Coach Woodard, why did he kick the field goal? I mean, we tried to draw him offside.
Draw him off.
He said the whole intent was to kick the field goal. I needed the points. Now we got it in a one-score game.
Right.
Once we got within a one-score game, we didn't change anything. We kept pounding the football 99 yards.
Yes.
And we got the lead. So I think the biggest thing for me, stay in the game. You can't win the game in the first half.
No.
You can lose it, but
right,
you can't win it in the first half. Get them into deep water in the situations where they've not been in the fourth quarter and make it a ball game.
Safe plays, sit down at the marker on passes. We don't, depending who's in the game.
And don't be afraid to punt. Ain't
right,
nothing wrong with
right, nothing wrong.
Play field
Change
position.
the field.
Literally. The defense is our strongest side of the football anyway.
And our kicking game is
so.
Is a good part.
I'm perfectly comfortable with an ugly football game. Okay, a low-scoring football game, something like 21-24. That benefits us. We're not going to win a shootout with them. So we've got to go ahead and play ball possession football
control.
And don't turn it over. Play field position. Fam, you're the front runners. Let them toss the ball around.
Right.
Maybe turn it over. Keep us in the game. First downs are more important to me than anything else early in this ball game.
Yes.
Move those chains and keep their offense on the football field. And when we get into the second half, then it's anybody's ball game at that point in time. I don't expect us to come out with anything different the second half.
I don't either.
We've not seen anything like that all year long. That would be totally against what we've shown, from that standpoint. But I think you lean on what you do best. Dance with what brought you here, okay?
Right.
And that's what we're going to have to do. And we're playing our best football right now.
Final score of that game, Alabama A&M 30, Mississippi Valley 21. Yeah.
Got a little separation at the end. That was a little close there for a while.
Alabama A&M missed a field goal near the end with like 40 seconds left.
Why did he kick a field goal with 40 seconds left anyway?
Points. Just trying to,
U-Haul or no U-Haul. You got it?
I mean, the U-Haul.
My brother needs points. Okay?
I mean, the U-Haul probably still go at least.
Yeah.
But my point is.
He needs the points, bro. That give you a 3-point argument, man.
Did he cover? What was the spread? He needed to cover, I guess.
Yeah, that's.
A lot of people look at it in that way. But like you said, 40 seconds to go in the game. I don't think I'm worried about not kicking that. I'm up.
I'm just.
Well,
but when we went into the Alabama A&M game, the one thing we said, they're not a second half team.
Yeah, right. Right.
They're not a second half team. Because even when A&M went up 17 zip on A&M, They came back around the half, and that game was
21-17. In
They
Alabama
were leading
and
the
the
fast
favor.
score to take the lead to halftime.
And then didn't look back.
They came back on them. So
Well, even the game Saturday when they played us, when they got up 14, they took their foot off the gas.
Yeah.
You literally. Now, when you take your foot off the gas,
kind of hard to regenerate.
Can you crank it up again?
Mm-mm.
And then Bethune Cookman got inspired.
Right.
You know, and then now all of a sudden you got a ball game, and now they're punching you in the mouth, and you have no retaliation for it.
But it's going to be interesting, and I think our kids are going to be ready. I think they're about as enthusiastic as they've been all year, really, because they want to go against the team who's considered to be the best team in the SWAC, and they want to show them.
The team that is favored, the team that is the front runner, the longer that ball game stays close,
the more tense they get.
and they have a memory. They know what has happened to them in the Florida Classic.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
How many times have they had the biscuit in their mouth for us only to take it out of their mouth?
Yeah.
They know. All you want to do is create a little doubt.
I'm not going to tell you who said it, Ralph, but somebody said if you start running, call EMS. I'm just going to leave it there. Don't look in the comment section. I'll put it
No, they didn't. I knew they didn't do that about my boy Ralph. No, they didn't.
Let's go closing words. Ralph, you have the floor.
I'm running.
You're running.
I am running.
99.5 just won't do.
Yes, sir. I'm running.
You know who it was. The big homie.
Oh, that's Big Ranch. I mean,
the big homie. I thought that's who it was.
Well, okay, Ranch. I hear you, brother. But listen, I think I'll go back to what Larry said and what I said at the beginning. If we can get first downs early and keep that ball, we have a very, very good chance of winning this game. Because if we get first downs, that's going to reserve our defense until the second half, and then that's when we can just take over. I think we have a very good opportunity of winning this game, but we got to play within ourselves. We cannot have turnovers.
CC.
A good, strong running game and a good, strong defensive game, I think, will carry us through.
Larry?
I want to be close at half. I want to go in the second half close. And I want to win the football game the second half. I want no turnovers. I want a clean football game. And guys, I want to dance with what brought me here. And what has been bringing us here. We didn't understand it early on. Joe Gerbino's offense may not be creative. But, buddy, when I see us play like we played Saturday and block and move that football, that's all I want to do. I don't care if it's not pretty. All I want to do is win the football game the way we typically play. And if that's running it, let's stay with the run. Keep me in the ball game. And if we can, the closer it is in the fourth quarter, second half, the better it is.
The better it is for us.
We're going to go a little. Ralph, you want to do a prediction?
I don't do predictions. No, I don't do prediction. I've never done a prediction.
Just predict. When you change, Ralph?
I don't do predictions.
Okay.
That's Jig Man.
That's right, Darryl. You're right. My bad.
Jig Man.
Hey, I'm good.
You got one, CC?
Yeah, I definitely got one, man. I'm gonna. Yeah, please write this.
All
down.
right, we're ready.
Please write this down. 23-17 Cats.
He just went off of what Marcus said, but he changed a little bit. But that's all right. Mr. Wesley.
I'm living with 24-21. If I can keep them to 3 touchdowns and be in this football game. Somehow I see our field goal kicker, Kate Hatcher, kicking the field goal to win this thing for us, 24-21.
24-21. There you have it, fans. We look forward to seeing you this Saturday, 3:30 p.m., Camping World Stadium. If you need transportation, it's right here on the screen. Ride with Let's Go Wildcats. $45 round trip. Bus departs at 11:30 this Saturday from Home Depot here in Daytona. For Mr. Ralph Smith, Mr. CC Cruse, the professor, Mr. Larry Wesley, and the creator, Fry Daddy, Mr. Jerry Bill, I'm Darold Williams. Hail Wildcats. Let's go Cats. Let's pull off the Florida Classic 2023. Thank you. Have a good night. God bless. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bethune-Cookman University alma mater.